Next up, guys, we're going to talk about what happens to families that need to be modified or relocated, right? So I just kind of placed a bunch of doors on the front face of my building, and they're not really in the right location. Two things are wrong here. The entry to my building is actually going to be this interior wall. Okay, this is going to be like a little entry alcove, not a little foyer. And then I'm going to move those other exterior doors to interior walls. So the nifty thing about these families is that because they're so smart, you can move them in a smart fashion as well. So if I want to take this door and I want to put it on what's going to be my my bathroom wall, I can click and then go up to the top, and there's this little tab, I guess you could say, that is only active when I have certain things selected. It's the Modify Doors tab, right? So Modify is always there, right? But once I select an element, it shows me additional things that I can do with that element. So if I click on Pick New Host, remember this is a wall hosted door, I can basically just say Pick New Host and put it on that wall instead. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, why is that important, right? So I'm going to do a quick thing and just show you why. I'm going to tag that door and tag this door, okay? So these two doors, they're door number 2 and door number 5. That part's not important. You don't need to remember the numbers. But in Revit, we have schedules for doors. And these schedules have all the information about what the door's made out of, what the head detail, the jamb detail, the threshold details are, special notes about it, whether or not it's fire rated. All that information is built into parameters on these doors. So let's say this was in a commercial building, for instance, for those of you in 247, and I found out that this is actually an electrical room with big enough equipment that it needs to be rated, right? But my door used to be located out here, right? And now it's got to be there, and I need to move that rated door to that wall, right? I don't want to reprogram all the information. Well, this number 5 door, if I'm just relocating it, I can pick new host and move it over, and it keeps all of the information. So I'll pick new host, put it over there, and you see it's still door number 5. Okay, that is tremendously powerful. I know it's a little understated now because you can't really see the full power of it until you get to the more detailed phases, but I'm telling you, it's huge. Anyway, that's one thing, is picking a new host. I also want to show you how to modify walls. Yeah.
So when you pick the host wall, it'll just paste it anywhere on that wall.
Kind of.
Don't try and, what am I trying to say? Like, see the way it's centered here.
Yeah.
Will it try and center it in the next host, or just?
It won't try and center it. It does have alignment principles, so like if I'm moving something around here, see how like you can see the default dimensions, like 6969. Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing that I want to show you how to modify is, swapping out the wall type. So like I've already modeled these things as 8 and 5 inch walls. So I need to do 3 things in succession here. I need to move the wall, or move the door to the interior wall. I need to trim out the face of the wall that used to be the exterior wall, and then I need to change those 3 interior walls to be exterior walls. Okay, so that's done simply by selecting that door. I'm going to pick a new host, and I'm going to move it here. Right, so you already know how to do that by now. Then there's a pretty nifty tool under the Modify tab. Okay, this Modify tab you're going to get very well acquainted with. It's kind of pre-selected when you're doing this kind of stuff most of the time. Under the Modify panel, in the Modify tab, there's this little button right there. It's the Split Element button. The hotkey is SL. If you click that, it allows you to sort of chop something. Okay, so as I'm hovering my mouse over this wall, it says, you can cut it here, right? So I'm going to cut it right here, and I'm going to cut it right here. Okay. So what did that do? It doesn't look any different, right? Does it? No, it doesn't. So it did get cut though, but Revit is smart. So the way it visualizes numerous elements is in a way that they're connected. So you can see that as I select that, it looks like a contiguous wall, but that's a separate wall element now that I cut it. So I'm going to delete that. And then we've got a really funny looking thing going on. Okay, the walls are too thin and they're too short. So those walls, I'm going to select this one. And if you need to select multiple elements, hold Control. Don't worry, these hotkeys, I'm going to keep reminding you of them. I don't expect you to remember everything I'm telling you in this one go. So hold Control, select all 3 of those walls, and then to change the family, it's as simple as going back into Properties and just changing what it is. Okay, so you go back up to Properties. I'm going to go down to an 8-inch generic. Boom, and they're exterior walls. Immensely powerful. All right, so there is one other thing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said generic was drywall, studs, plaster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's
This is
just a generic.
Yeah, this is purely generic. It's just like a mass. It's like you modeled it in Rhino and you just extruded it.
So does it tell us somewhere what that wall is made of? Does it tell us it has plaster this thick, it has studs this thick, or?
Yes, it will. I didn't want to get there today. I want to do that next week, and we're going to go through that very thoroughly, setting up assemblies. This one does not have an assembly. I mean, it does. It has one layer, and it's just generic. Yeah.
Another easy way you can use match properties.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
That is really easy.
Yeah. I'm not generally in the habit of doing that.
I think we are kind of like, I don't know, I use a lot of match
Yeah.
properties.
No, I should. It's just one of those things that for some reason I just never got into.
It's easy to click in,
Yeah.
look for what kind of like wall is it, just match properties.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So, and it probably would work for the height here too, but the last thing I want to show you guys is, how do I get this thing to actually be the height of these exterior walls? So same thing, you're just going to select all 3 of them. And then if you look over in the properties of that wall, it says going down, there's a location line, base constraint. Actually, you know what? Let me just let me split this off into a separate video because I want to show you a few things with it.